I want you to picture the greatest cricket batter you can think of. Maybe it's Kohli, maybe Viv Richards, maybe it's Bradman.
Okay.
Now, imagine they walk out to the crease and they score a century. That's a good day, right?
A fantastic day. A career highlight for most, for sure.
Okay, now imagine they don't stop. They score a double century, then a triple, then a quadruple. Imagine a single batter scoring 988 runs in one innings.
One person.
One person, not a team total. And they still didn't get out.
It sounds like a glitch. It sounds like someone fell asleep on the controller while playing a video game on, like, beginner mode.
Exactly. And that is why we are here. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are looking at a set of data that honestly made me question if I understand how sports work anymore.
I had the same reaction.
We are analyzing the Naivies Tour of Bouties, Season 1, Tour 1.
This was a series played in Barcelona back in January 2019, and series feels like a polite word for it. It was more like a statistical avalanche.
It really was.
We have 15 matches to get through, spanning 3 different formats, T10, T25, and T50.
And the mission today isn't just to gawk at the big numbers, although, let's be honest, we are definitely going to do that.
Oh, for sure.
The mission is to figure out a mystery. We have the Bouties, the home team. They start this tour looking like absolute monsters, just destroying the ball.
Unstoppable, you'd think.
But somehow, by the end of this 15-match saga, the Naivies, the visitors, managed to win the tour. They win with a record of 8 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. We need to figure out how they survived that initial onslaught.
It's a fascinating case study in momentum because if you just look at the raw talent on the Bouties side, especially early on, you'd think they would sweep the whole thing 15-0.
Before we get into the play-by-play, we have to address the elephant in the room, or rather the lack of elephants, the bowling.
Right. Usually cricket is a contest between bat and ball. You have swing, you have spin, seam movement.
All the art.
But looking at this stack of scorecards, I'm not sure the bowlers even showed up.
I'm looking at these columns, and for wickets, I'm seeing a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
A disturbing amount of zeros.
It's the defining characteristic of this tour. We're seeing multiple matches that lasted hours, where 0 wickets fell.
0.
This implies conditions that were totally skewed. The pitch must have been hard as a highway, the boundaries must have been brought in, or, I don't know, the bats were made of some kind of NASA-grade material.
Right. It was an environment where offense didn't just dominate. It eradicated the concept of defense.
Completely.
So, keeping that in mind, that wickets are basically mythical creatures in this tournament. Let's rewind to the beginning. The T10 sprint, matches 1 through 5.
T10. 10 overs aside, it's supposed to be frantic, it's supposed to be messy.
In match 1, I mean, talk about setting a tone. The Bouties bat first. 10 overs. What's a good score in T10? Maybe 120? 130?
In professional leagues, yeah, anything over 140 is considered winning material.
The Bouties scored 342.
In 10 overs.
In 10 overs. That is 34 runs an over. That is nearly 6 runs every single ball.
It breaks the math. If you're scoring 34 runs and over, you are essentially hitting 5 6s and a 4 every single over.
And the star here was Reddy, the Bouties captain. She walks off the pitch with 240 runs next to her name. She faced 42 balls.
I want to pause on that. 240 runs off 42 balls. That is a strike rate of 571. In normal cricket, a strike rate of 150 is aggressive.
Very aggressive.
She's operating at nearly 4 times the efficiency of a world-class hitter. It's just, I don't have words for it.
But here is the part that actually blows my mind. The Naivies, the away team, remember, probably jet-lagged, playing in Barcelona, they come out to chase this impossible target, and they score 340.
They almost did it.
They lose by 2 runs.
2 runs. After nearly 700 runs are scored in 20 overs combined, the margin is 2 runs.
What does that tell you?
It tells you straight away that this wasn't just one team having a lucky day. Both teams had figured out the cheat code for this pitch.
But a loss is a loss. Bouties take the lead. Then we get this back-and-forth tussle. Naivies win match 2. Bouties win match 3 again by just 2 runs. What is going on with these close finishes?
It suggests that the teams were perfectly matched in firepower. When you have conditions this easy for batting, skill gaps they disappear.
It just comes down to luck.
It comes down to who makes one tiny error in the field, or who hits 1 ball for 4 instead of 6.
Then match 4 happens, and the Bouties look like they're pulling away. They win by 12 runs. Kangana Ranaut, the other big star for the Bouties, scores 234 not out. At this point, it's 3-1 to the home team. If you're the Naivies, are you panicking?
You have to be worried. Your bowlers are getting absolutely shelled. You've lost 2 games by the thinnest of margins. The psychological pressure of knowing you have to score 300 plus just to have a chance to win, that wears you down.
But then comes match 5, the final T10 game. Naivies chase down 278 to win comfortably.
And that was the pivot point. If Bouties win that, they go up 4-1. The tour is basically theirs.
It's over.
But Naivies claw it back to 3-2. And more importantly, Ankita Maheswari starts to step up. We'll talk more about her later, but she starts showing that the Naivies have depth. They aren't just relying on one person.
So, we leave the sprint format, Bouties leading 3-2. We move to the T25 shift, matches 6 through 10. The game extends to 25 overs. Now, logic dictates that the run rate should drop, right?
You'd think so.
You can't sprint a marathon.
Conventional wisdom says yes, you pace yourself, you knock the ball around for singles, but these teams didn't get that memo.
Not even a little bit. The Naivies just flipped a switch. They win match 6, they win match 7, they win match 8. It's a hat trick of wins.
The statement.
And look at the scores they chased down. 750, 748, 760.
It's the consistency that scared me. Chasing 750 once is a miracle. Doing it 3 times in a row is, well, it tells the Bouties, no matter what you score, we will hunt it down.
Imagine being in the Bouties locker room. You just posted 760 runs. You didn't lose a single wicket. You played a perfect offensive game, and you lost.
It's soul-crushing.
That has to be demoralizing.
It renders your effort meaningless, and that's where the captaincy comes in. Pavani, the Naivies T25 captain, deserves massive credit here to keep her team believing that 760 was chaseable. That's leadership.
But the peak of this absurdity, and I think this is my favorite moment in the entire data set, is match 9, January 10th, the perfect tie.
Ah, yes.
Talk me through this.
This is a statistician's dream and a nightmare rolled into one. Bouties bat first. They score 760 without losing a wicket.
Okay, standard for this tour, apparently.
Naivies bat second. They bat for their full 25 overs. They also do not lose a single wicket, and they score exactly 760.
How? What are the odds?
We are talking about 50 combined overs, 300 balls bowled, over 1,500 runs scored. And after all that chaos, not one person got out, and the scores are identical.
It's like the simulation glitched. It's a stalemate in the purest sense.
It really highlights that batter's paradise concept. If bowlers can't take wickets, they can't stop the flow of runs, so the game just becomes a mathematical race. And in match 9, they cross the finish line at the exact same millisecond.
The Bouties finally stopped the bleeding in match 10, winning by 4 runs. But the damage was done, wasn't it? The Naivies had turned the tide.
Absolutely. They won the T25 leg of the tour. They proved they were the better chasers. And heading into the longest format, the 50-over games, momentum was fully with the visitors.
So now we enter the T50 marathon. Matches 11 through 15, 50 overs. In the real world, 300 is a great score. 400 is world record territory.
And in this tour, they laughed at 400. The scoring didn't slow down. It just scaled up. It was a linear progression. T10 was 300s. T25 was 700s.
So naturally,
T50 went into the 1400.
1,400 runs. Just try to visualize that. That is running back and forth between the wickets. Well, actually, they hit mostly boundaries, so maybe not that much running.
Even physically standing in the field while the opposition hits 1,400 runs takes a toll. That's hours of watching the ball just fly over your head.
Match 11. Naivies win by 4 wickets, chasing 14-10. They take the overall series lead.
Yeah.
But the Bouties, and credit to them, they didn't roll over.
No, and this is where the drama peaked. The Bouties fought back hard. They won match 12 by 48 runs, then they won match 13 by 54 runs.
So suddenly,
the Bouties are back in the driver's seat. They look like they might actually steal the tour back.
So it all comes down to the final 2 games, matches 14 to 15. The Naivies have to win to take the trophy.
And in match 14, they did what they do best. They chased 1,424 runs.
No problem.
No problem. Chase complete.
Which sets up the grand finale.
Yeah.
Match 15. The numbers in this game are, they look like phone numbers.
The Bouties posted 1,444 runs, a colossal score. And the Naivies chased it down, scoring 1,496 without losing a wicket.
I need to talk about Muktha Elsa George. She was the Naivies T50 captain. In this final match, she scored 988 runs not out.
It's astounding. She was just 12 runs short of 1,000-run innings.
The nervous 990s, is that a thing? Do you think she knew?
Oh, she must have known it. But at that point, you're probably just swinging at everything. Looking at her boundary count, she hit 100 fours and 98 sixes, just in that one innings.
I'm getting tired just thinking about swinging a bat that many times. That's nearly 200 hard swings connecting for boundaries. It's an endurance feat as much as a skill feat.
And we shouldn't overlook the other side. Swara Bhasker, the Bouties T50 captain. Even though her team lost the series, she ended up as the highest run getter in the T50 format overall.
She did everything she could.
Everything.
But despite her efforts, Naivies take the T50 Series 3-2 and the overall tour 8-6.
A hard-fought victory, really.
Okay, we've recapped the madness. Now I want to dig into the why. We've alluded to it, but let's look at the no-wicket phenomenon.
It is the single most important stat here. We had matches. Match 1, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, where at least one team lost 0 wickets. In many cases, both teams lost 0 or 1 wicket.
Ankita Maheswari from the Naivies was named the best bowler of the tournament. I looked up her stats. Do you know how many wickets she took?
I do. It was 5.
5 in 15 games. She's the best bowler on the tour, and she's averaging 1 wicket every 3 games.
It's hilarious, but it's also telling. In this environment, a bowler's job wasn't to take wickets. That was, impossible. Their job was to maybe, just maybe, turn a 6 into a 4. Or bowl a dot ball.
That's it. Damage limitation.
Exactly. Ankita taking 5 wickets made her the deadliest weapon on the pitch because those 5 wickets were probably the only times a batter actually made a mistake in the whole series.
So was it just the pitch? Was it concrete?
It had to be. To have that consistent bounce where no ball ever stays low, no ball ever spins or grips, it suggests an artificial surface. Or maybe the boundaries were brought in so close that a defensive push went for 4. It completely neutralized the bowling art form.
It effectively turned the bowlers into pitching machines. Here's the ball, hit it as far as you can.
Precisely. And that changes the psychology. If you know you can't get out, you play differently, you lose the fear, and when you lose the fear, you swing harder. Hence, strike rates of 5.0.
Let's look at the total runs. Bouties scored 12,614. Naivies scored 12,778.
The difference is less than 200 runs over a 15-match series.
That's nothing.
That is razor thin. It confirms that the teams were nearly identical in ability. The Naivies just won the specific moments that mattered.
And the strike rates. We mentioned Reddy's 5.7 runs per ball, but everyone was doing it.
Yes. Usually you have an anchor, someone who bats slow and steady, and a hitter. Here, everyone was a hitter. Strike rates were consistently between 4.5 and 5.8 runs per ball.
That's just wild.
For context, if you strike at 2.0, scoring 2 runs for every ball you face, you are considered an elite T20 finisher. These players were operating at nearly 300% of elite efficiency.
So let's go to the Hall of Fame. Who are the heroes of this run fest?
Well, the player of the series went to Ankita Maheswari.
The bowler with 5 wickets.
The very same. But she was also a batting beast. She ranked #1 overall with 6,811 series points. She had the highest strike rate of the tour. She was the complete package.
The all-rounder.
Her contributions in the T10 and T25 wins were the difference maker.
And the captains. We mentioned Pavani.
Pavani for the Naivies was key in the T25s. That hat trick of wins turned the tour around. But statistically, Reddy for the Bouties had the best win rate in the T10s. She really maximized that early format.
It really does seem like the Bouties were the sprinters and the Naivies were the endurance runners.
That's a great way to put it. Bouties exploded out of the gate, but Naivies adapted better.
So here's my final verdict question for you. Why did the Naivies win? The stats are almost identical. The conditions were the same. Why them?
I think it comes down to chasing pressure. It's psychologically easier to bat first. You set the total, you have the freedom. Especially chasing monstrous totals like 760 or 1440 requires a different kind of steam.
A different mentality.
A different mentality. You know exactly what the required rate is. If you fall behind for even 1 over, the pressure just spikes.
And the Naivies were chasing in almost all their key wins.
Exactly. They looked at a scoreboard that said, target 1445, and they didn't blink. They had superior mental fortitude. They won by wickets, often 5 wickets or 4 wickets, which means they paced their innings perfectly and always had resources left in the bank. They managed the chaos better.
It's a fascinating thought. In a world without consequences, where you can't get out it, the team that stays calmest wins.
It challenges what we think cricket is. We usually say bowlers win matches.
Yeah.
In this tour, bowlers were spectators. It was a pure test of offensive efficiency. Who can do the math better? Who can hit the ball harder, longer, and more consistently?
It does leave me with a weird feeling, though. I love seeing a big 6. I love a high score. But watching a game where 1,500 runs are scored and nobody gets out, does it lose something?
It's the video game God mode problem. If you turn on invincibility, it's fun for about 10 minutes.
Right, and then it gets boring.
The tension in sport comes from the risk of failure. If I swing and miss, I'm out. If that risk is removed, does the success feel as sweet?
Or does the sport just evolve into something else entirely? A pure efficiency contest? Like competitive accounting, but with cricket bats.
That's one way to look at it, yeah.
Well, next time you're watching a match and a batter plays a defensive shot, maybe don't boo them. They're just keeping the game part of the game alive.
Indeed.
Check your own stats for the week, everyone. We'll